thoughts and memories shared by Tiffany, trying to summarize the life of Danielle Bousum onto a sheet of paper for a speech that will last a few brief minutes seems like an impossible task. I've waited to the last possible moment to do this because, frankly, I've been dreading it. I don't want to write a eulogy. I want to come to Mom's, walk down the hall, and fill you in on all the latest gossip. I want to make you laugh. I want us to remember things that Mom doesn't and tease her about it. But here we are. Sisterhood is perhaps one of the most complicated relationships to describe because there are so many moments where it feels like we truly hate each other. Like when we take each other's clothes or when one of us is breathing too loud in the car. Ha. But at the same time, there's an underlying love so strong that nothing can destroy it. Arguably, the most important relationship you ever have is with your sibling. Our parents leave too soon and our partners come later in life, but the one person who is there at the beginning and gets to experience every version of you is your sibling. My heart is broken that we won't get to tease each other about becoming grannies one day. Truly, to know my sister is to love her. She had the sweetest spirit. People wonder if she was always sweet. The answer is yes. Even if she was mad, it was so mild, I would offer to fight for her. True story. Her feathers didn't ruffle easily. Maybe that was all forethought from God when her personality was developing, knowing the terribly difficult hand she would be dealt later in life. When she found out that she had a form of muscular dystrophy, I can remember her just nonchalantly saying, "Well, what can you do? Just deal with it." It was so casual. She really wasn't shaken by it, which blew my mind. Then came falls that resulted in a broken ankle, later a brain injury, a tracheotomy, a feeding tube, multiple surgeries and hospitalizations. And that's what she always did. She just dealt with it. She rolled with the punches and did what she could do to make the best of it. She had no quit in her, none. Whatever was thrown at her, she just kept going. And she never had a why me attitude. She was never mad at God. She was so easily content, and my gosh, she was easy to please. A quality I'm certain my husband wishes were a family trait. Her strength and inner fortitude were something that couldn't be matched by a million giants. As her sister, I felt extremely protective of her. She was the best. Such a simple word, but I know of none to describe being Chrissy's little sister better than she was the best. I would often wonder how I would be if roles were reversed. Would I think it was unfair? Would I have a shred of jealousy that my life was so difficult while my sister's wasn't? I know I struggled to see all that life threw at her because she deserved so much better. She deserved all the happiness and the health. The thing is, I knew she didn't harbor any resentment and not a shred of jealousy. She was my biggest cheerleader, my biggest supporter. Whatever I was doing, she wanted to be involved in any way that she could. She was the receptionist at Appletree when she was still physically able to do it, and she loved coming and selling tickets at the haunted house with me. She always made me feel like I was such a big deal. I found myself these last few days questioning but hoping with everything in me that she knew how proud I was of her. I hope she knew how lucky I felt to be her sister. I pray that I did enough to show her that she was a big deal, and she certainly was the strong one. I had a dream months ago I had only shared with my pastors at that time. I dreamed that I saw Sis and she was in heaven. She was smiling, she was whole, she was happy and healthy. And she said if I had known it was going to be like this, I wouldn't have fought so hard to stay. I'm holding on to that. I'm holding on tight to the hope we have in heaven. And I believe that's what she would say to all of us now. I know the hurting is left for us here to do, But sis, you go do all the things that you've wanted to be able to do for so long. I promise to take care of your chick. And just like Mom said when she bent down and kissed your forehead to say goodbye, it's okay. Daddy's going to take care of you now. I will love you forever and ever, and I know I will see you again. Rest, sissy. You certainly earned it. Your sister, Tiffany.